Welcome everyone to workshop number 3 out of 4 in preparation for your elections campaign. This workshop is going to be about how to design a winning poster. And when I say a poster, what I really mean is marketing material which is digital in this instance. So that can be your social media posts, that can be your cover photo, that can be anything that you will create for your campaign. If you haven't seen the other 2 workshops, they have been recorded and uploaded to your Candidate Hub on the SU website, so you can go there and watch them. We have one more workshop next week. Okay. Very important key information. Roger really wanted me to mention that, and I've been mentioning it many times, but this is so easy for you to miss. So please, please, please remember that the key information that you absolutely need to have on your marketing materials and on your poster, the main bit of artwork that you use to promote your campaign, is your name, and your name as it appears on the ballot, as it will appear on the website, because I know that some of you go by nicknames or you are known as a different name. So the name that you use on your poster should be easily recognizable. So it should be the same name as students will see it. Your face, absolutely necessary. Ideally, the same picture that you're going to use on the website as well. This would be just an ideal scenario, so people can easily recognize you. The position you're running for. So again, this is so obvious, but people forget all the time. They say vote for Chris, but they never say what role is Chris running for. So remember to include the position and how to vote. So include a link or some instructions to help people find their way to vote. Okay, so now before we start with the actual longer tips, and we're going to be analyzing a few posters that other candidates in previous years have done. Before we start, as an objective number 1 and as a take-home message number 1, I want you to remember that when you prepare your marketing materials, you need to make sure that voters know your name. So this will be priority number 1 for you. So now I want you to take a minute and write down 5 ways in which you'll achieve these objectives. So write down, if you want to share in the chat or in the Q&A, I'll be very happy, but you don't have to. But I definitely want you to write them down on your phone or on a piece of paper or somewhere. I don't want you to leave this session without having at least 5 ideas, 5 ways in which you will achieve the objectives of people knowing your name. People who have never heard who you are, people who, they're not your mates, they're just people studying something else, you don't know them, but your goal is for them to know your name. How are you going to achieve this? Is anyone going to share something? As I said, you don't have to, but if you want to, now is the time. You can ask questions in the Q&A, and I'll answer all of them at the end, or if some of them are applicable while I'm doing the presentation, I will answer those. No one is going to share ideas. Okay, that's fine. Think about it though, and you'll see a few ideas later. You can talk to me, you know. Well, not really, but you can raise your hand if you want to talk to me. Right, let's move on. Why design promotional artwork for your campaign? Well, in previous years, you'd have done a bit of campaigning on campus, you're talking to people, you do lecture shout outs. So you have lots of different opportunities to engage with people. And this can be really easy conversations that you're convincing someone to vote for you. But this year, it's mostly going to be digital. So you're really relying on your digital content, on your social media posts and on your videos. So you have to put a lot of effort into creating these so that they look nice, they stand out, and they really sell your campaign and convince people to vote. And in today's workshop, I'm going to cover a few basics that maybe you know, but maybe you might miss. So as a little checklist, have a look when you're creating your artwork. And then we're going to look at some posters. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you practically how to create a poster on Canva. You will all get a Canva subscription as part of your on top of your budget. Actually, on top of your budget, you get a Canva subscription, a pro subscription like you. So I'll show you how to use that. If you already know it, you don't have to stay for that part. That'll be at the very end. Okay, so the basics of your poster or main social media artwork that you're going to use include a photo of yourself and your slogan. Make sure that your colors and your whole artwork is in line with your campaign brand. So the brand you're going for, what we've discussed last time. Don't overcomplicate your design. You don't want to have too much on that. You want to have just enough. All the fancy fonts, leave them for your love letters. For your elections campaign, really what you need is something easy to understand, something legible, like a font that anyone can spot from miles away, something simple. Please don't stretch images because it ends up looking terrible. So keep the proportions the same when you are stretching, when you are changing the size of an image. So basically never pull it up, because otherwise you end up looking too tall or it just looks weird. So remember not to do that. Always spell check. So I'm doing artwork every single day. And even I very often spell something really, really simple. I can misspell it because your eyes just get used to it, because I'm writing the Students' Union every day and elections and all those words are in front of me all the time. So it's very easy to just miss a spelling mistake or a typo. So always proofread, or ideally ask someone else to proofread it for you, because they will spot something, because that's the first time they're seeing your manifesto, the first time they're seeing your poster, social media posts, etc. So it will really stand out to them if you've misspelled something. Obviously the standard we're going for this year, because everything is digital, we'll be expecting you to have proper sized artwork on your social media channels. So for Instagram, a square; for Facebook, like the Facebook size, Twitter. So what I'm trying to say here is on Canva Pro, you will get the opportunity to resize very easily. I'm going to show you in a minute. So use that. So don't just use the same image with the same size on all the platforms, because people won't be able to see them. It's just not going to work. It's not going to be as nice. So yeah, make that extra little effort. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. Oh, I have a little surprise, I'd say, surprise for you. Let me know in the chat if the sound works, okay? Oh, hello, Bradley. You're joining at the best part, at the best bit.
Hello. Apologies for being late, folks. But I'm sure you've been in good hands with Vigana.
We just watched the headshots video. Guys, did you like it? Let us know in the chat or in the Q&A. It's our favorite bit. We had so much fun making this. Basically, each year we get lots of pictures that are not headshot quality, and we really wanted to give you some tips on how to on how to take your headshot, but also we didn't want it to be boring. We wanted to have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to send you the link so you can rewatch this video if you need to. And it contains just very basic steps on how to make your headshot a good one that will stand out, one that we can use as well, and you can use for the website and for your posters. And just to recap everything that we've mentioned before, but maybe you've forgotten and you need a little reminder. A few things that you need to focus on when you're creating your campaign marketing materials is your campaign message, your theme, and I'll show you a few examples in a minute of what I mean by that. You don't have to necessarily have a theme, but if you do, stick to it. Your brand colors, the colors you've decided to go with on your poster so that people recognize who you are easily, and your slogan, like the little phrase that you're going to use to sum up your campaign, and which people will also be able to see on your manifesto as a headline. Right. Few ideas, a few little things you can do after this session, and you can tick them off after that. Research slogans from past elections, from the Students' Union and other students' unions and elections in general. If you can, link the slogan to your name to help the students remember who you are. Oh, I know this is really hard. But have a think, ask your friends for ideas, maybe write it down on a piece of paper, just think of some words that sound like it or go with it. And if you don't think of one, it's not the end of the world, but give it a go. When you think of your slogan, try to make it short, but snappy and original. So you really want to show that you're confident, you really want to show that you want to win, you're here to win. But you also want to stand out. You don't want to say something like for better life or better university experience, because all of you, I hope all of you are here because you believe in a better university experience and you want to work for a better university experience. So this is something in common, I'd say, for most of you. So in order to stand out, you should think of something a bit more specific. If you can link it to something modern and memorable, that would be even better. And this can be a brand. This can be the slogan of a famous brand that you like. You can just change the name. And in a minute, I'll show you how a few people have done it. But it can even be a song. You can change a word in the title of a song, as long as it's memorable. And of course, you can use humor, some puns with your name. I have a few. Oh, raise the hand. Yep. Do you want to speak? Hello.
Hello. All that needs to be done by the 28th of February, yeah? Or by the 5th?
Bradley. Bradley is the guy.
So the deadline for your manifesto and your designs is the 5th. So if we get all of that into us by the 5th, so we need to see the poster designs to be able to approve them, just to make sure there's nothing like offensive. We'll go through all of the rules in the candidate briefing, but we need to have them seen to us by the 5th, and that includes your manifesto and.
But the poster will need to send to you, or.
Yeah, so if you email su.democracy@uos.ac.uk, I'll put it in the chat as well. But if you just email the design, and I'll just reply saying, yeah, that's fine. Unless it's not, but I'm sure it will be.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
It's okay. I will give you a few suggestions for how to use alliteration, which is very commonly used in slogans and in brand names. If you want to have like a name of your campaign, which people have done in the past. So yeah, really, we want you to have fun. So make this little effort. Try to think of ways that you can stand out, a bit of comedy, color, maybe make your promotional materials in a funny shape. When I say funny shape, I mean, like, I know that you have to post the correct size on the platform, but like, this is what Cardiff Students' Union did with their promotional materials. They did wrappings for their burgers in their shop. If we were on campus, we could have done that with our meal deals, but maybe next year. But have a think of what you can do and how you can have fun. Okay, so as promised, alliteration is something you've seen everywhere and heard everywhere. So it's when the occurrence of the same letter or sound, it's either at the beginning or when you have closely connected words. So it's scientifically proven. I say quote scientifically because I've not read enough scientific articles to say 100% sure it's science, but it's commonly known that our brain remembers them. So when you have Mickey Mouse, Krispy Kreme, PayPal, Coca-Cola, so they start with the same letter, or they sound in a tandem together, like they sound well together. So have a think of something like that. I know it's really hard, but science, marketing science says that this sells well and people remember this well. So if you can think of something like that, maybe if you can think of a second word that will go well with your name, that might be one way to go with it. And the other one is the rules of repetition. So again, this one I'm using a source here. Basically, we all know that there are songs that they're just so catchy and we can't just stop singing them. They're like mostly unwanted tunes in our head. But why is this? This is because of well, the sound, like the music, but also some of the words. You can't get them out of your head because they're just very catchy in their nature. So what you can do is you can just borrow one of them. So if you Google like catchy tunes, you can just take one, change it with your name or a little bit of your campaign, and you can use this tune title or a little bit of the lyrics in your advantage, because people will know it already. Georgia and Amy did that last year with Here We Go Again. So the whole theme was about Here We Go Again and re-elect Georgia and Amy. So they went down this theme where they were replacing ABBA lyrics, and that was their soundtrack to their videos as well. And loads of people in other issues have done it. Like if you Google it, like you will see what I mean. So yeah, so those are the basics. Yeah, but what if I don't have any ideas? Right, no need for a subphase if you don't have any ideas. Look at ideas from advertising campaigns, magazines, TV, social media, and definitely Google SEO election campaigns. Don't spend 10 hours because you can easily spend 10 hours because there's just so much out there. But have a little look. I've curated a few for you and we'll very quickly go through them because all I want to do here is really show you a couple of things to look at, things that are helpful, things that I think you should do as well. So this guy, Andy, so he included his Facebook and Twitter account. Very smart. So presumably this was a poster that was printed, but then people could find out more. So I think this is a very, very good idea. And also he included information about how people can vote. So vote, this is the URL from Monday the 6th to Thursday the 9th. So he even included the dates. Very organized. What this guy Kieran has done is he's reminded people to vote for him as #1. So basically, you know that people can have a first, second, third preference and so on. So he wants people, voters, to put him as #1. He's reminding them about that. And his slogan is "Let me worry about it." I don't know why in quotes though, but so what we just saw are 2 posters, or like a main social media artwork. What you also can do if you have time is to do a more extended version of your poster, what some SUs call a design manifesto. This is basically your manifesto, but made pretty. So adding a little bit more information, and obviously not everyone will read this, and it shouldn't be the only thing you create, but if you have time, something like this would be very beneficial. So here you can see the difference. On the poster, you're only including headlines, you're only including the main pledges that you have. And then on the design manifesto, you can include a little bit more text, a little bit more detail for those students who are interested in reading more about it.
Sorry, Garnet, just on that as well. Another good thing you could do, as well as a designed poster, is you could even create like a free website, or use something like, I don't know, is Tumblr old fashioned now? Do people use Tumblr anymore, or is that too old school? So something like that. So when I ran to be president, I obviously, because you are sort of slightly constrained by your 500 word limit in the manifesto, and for your manifesto that most people read, you don't necessarily want to go over that anyway, because people might lose interest. Not suggesting your campaign's boring, but people have a limited time span in the social media age. But you might want to flesh out some of those ideas in a bit more detail in other places. So there's nothing stopping you creating a website, or Tumblr, or whatever the kids are using these days. Showing my age here. And you can always link that. Talking about older, Bebo is coming back apparently. Bebo is really old school. That's really old school. But you could link that at the end of your manifesto. You could just save yourself a few words at the end of the manifesto and say something like, if you'd like to know more about these ideas, then go to this link. Nothing stopping you doing that. And for those, it'll probably be a small number of people, but for those people that are that interested, that could be the thing that wins their vote, if they can see that you've got a lot of detail there. So always worth considering doing that as well.
Absolutely. And again, these girls here, #1, reminding people that they should be their first preference, and giving a link, providing information exactly how to vote. On the right, we can see a very, very stylish, very simplistic, even you could say minimalistic poster, extended manifesto design actually. And this guy has his own website, dannyforpresident.co.uk. I don't know how old is this, and if he still has the domain, you can have a look later. I think 4 is quite a lot. I would stick to 3. I think people can remember up to 3 points, not 4. But as you can see in a lot of these posters, some people have gone for 4. But I think my advice to you would be to stick to 3 main points. And here we can see another one, very simple, with just a picture of them and some key skills: boldness, compassion, competency. This is another way to go about it. Okay, this one I wanted to include it because you can borrow the marketing of someone else, or someone who has done the hard work already in terms of figuring out contrasting colors, figuring out shapes that will work. You can just steal that and use it. That's okay. Like this, there's no copyright problem here because you'll be changing it. So if you have a brand that you really like, I don't think they're going to sue us. So you can definitely use them as an inspiration, like this guy has done. And a bit of a provocative title. This guy has a TikTok as well. So he's very, very up to date with social media. So another idea there for you if you think you want to do that. This one, I'm not so sure about this one. I think you can't really read the text very well. I don't think the font here is very good. And I don't think Rosie for Welfare is the most original hashtag that she could have thought of. But I guess it tells you who she is and what she's running for.
Just wondering what you think of my catchphrase when I ran Gagana.
What was it?
My slogan was "Don't get mad, vote for Brad."
I love it. I love it. It's really good. I think it's very original.
I mean, it doesn't really mean much, does it? But I suppose people probably remembered it because it rhymes.
Yeah.
So
because it sounds
make
good.
of that not official advice. Make of that what you will, folks.
Exactly. Oh yeah. My comments on those posters are also my subjective opinion. You can do what you want, obviously. So another one here with a Snapchat. This one is going for Snapchat. I think that's rather simplistic. She could have put a little bit more effort. So how many pages? So really, you can only have one, and that's enough. There is no, you need to have one as a, I would say, must, because we need to be able to help you, and we need to share your artwork as well on our website and on our social media. So we would say 100%, and then it's up to you. There is no rule on how many designs you need. You need one poster for sure. One page is enough, like one landscape or portrait, up to you. Okay, so yes, we can. Yes, we can do it. Like this theme has been used a million times. You always use around the country, and it still works. It's still a very powerful campaign, and it's one idea I could not include. I've seen people win with it. So although it's been used and abused, it's still working. When we were talking about using your name, what I meant is something like, why not? As in this example. And if you Google, as I said, SEO elections, you'll see a million similar ones that people have done. What this guy here on the right has included is a Scan Me QR code. So I don't know where this is taking you. Maybe it's taking you to the voting page, which is very smart. That's a very cool idea. But what these guys have here is a WhatsApp elections team. So you can WhatsApp their elections team if you have any issues. That's very interesting, Bradley. Do you think we should have that as well?
It is a very good idea. I'm just worried how many messages we'll get in one go.
I'll be online the whole week.
I like the QR code as well. Maybe we could create one of them.
Yeah.
Great. You're training me as well here, Gagana.
Oh, this one is quite original as well, I thought. With how like the font is different here to make a point. Yeah, again, include the dates are included for when to vote, and it's very clear what's the position, and the campaign points are one sentence only. Okay, this one looks like a high school scrapbook to me. But if you want to go for that style, it's up to you. But I guess why she's done it, because she's playing with her name as a symbol, like the rose. But I don't think that's the most optimal design, because they don't stand out, like the text doesn't stand out. The manifesto point 6, that's a lot. But here, an interesting fact, undergraduates can also vote. I don't know whether for her or in general, who knows. This guy, if you Google him, he's been dressed like that throughout the whole campaign. Like even his election video is with this outfit. Like his whole campaign is with this outfit. So in my tips for a headshot, I said no distracting clothing, like don't wear something distracting, and I still stand by it. Okay. I think at least for the website, people should see you as who you are, recognizable, with a clear professional headshot. Obviously, on your social media channels, you can be as creative as you want, and you can do whatever you want. You can dress up, you can use your budget to buy a costume if that's what you want to do with your money. I mean, if you think that's going to get you votes. I think sometimes people get really distracted by fluffy things and creative ideas that they sometimes forget to actually talk to people, to actually get votes, to actually focus on winning. So I'd say have a balance.
I saw a campaign once where the candidate, he had quite an impressive beard, and he did like a silhouette of his face. It was like a cartoony silhouette, but it really emphasized the beard. And his slogan was "Get weird with the beard." And I was never quite sure what that meant, but it stuck in people's heads, and people were like, "Oh yeah, it's the beard guy." Yeah, so I suppose there's a trade-off, isn't there, in that if it helps people remember you and it stays in their mind, then maybe it's worth it. But then there is the risk that people might go on the website and not be able to find the shark picture and then not know who you are. So it could work as a bit of a gimmick and a bit of a way to get people to remember you, but maybe just think it through and be cautious. That it would be my advice.
Absolutely. Here, 1, 2, 3. I'm not really sure, because people normally on these sort of posters, when they say number 1, they mean preference votes, not campaign points. So that can be a bit confusing here. But I included this poster because I thought it's very interesting that this guy decided to include his experience on the poster. This is a very different way of selling yourself. So instead of saying what you will do in the future, he decided to focus on what he's done already. So he's been international officer, he's been president of this society, the PACSOC, he's been a secretary of the general, that's probably the UN simulation stuff. Anyway, so he's focused on his experience, which I thought it's an interesting thing to show you. Okay, so these here, so much text. Oh my god, this is probably like, to be honest, I took this as a screenshot. It was actually a magazine. It was like a bigger thing. So maybe this was not meant to be used as a poster. So definitely, if you want to include something bigger, you can create it and upload it somewhere in a website or a platform which is set up, and people can go and look into it a bit more if they want to. But a lot of detail in here, a lot of detail. If I elected, I will. And if you require this in a different format, please contact me. This is really cool as well. So if someone cannot read it or has a disability, she's offering to provide this in different format, which I thought is really cool. Maybe something we need to look at as well. And back to our lovely issue. A little bit, just 1 minute, let's focus on Georgia's re-election poster and one of her social media posts. I'll be very quick. I used that last year at the last year's briefing because I think it's really good. Because she's using people's pain for her gain. So she's presenting this need and she's saying, I'll solve it. So looking at the shop that she's proposing, she's saying too expensive, question mark, lack of vegan options, question mark, Paddy and Scott's cafe queue too long. So basically she's flagging all of the complaints that she knows people have. Only got a 10-minute lecture break. So she's heard the feedback. That's why it's so important to listen to students' feedback. And she's using this feedback to propose a solution. So this is very, very well thought. And the solution is all roads lead to getting a campus shop. And she's using the very popular, easily recognizable sign, sticker of a meal deal. And I guess we discussed copyright last time around this. I think that's fine. I think you can use it. Like little things like that are fine to use. If it's not, obviously try to Google like Unsplash or something that's without a copyright. But even if you take a picture of a meal deal yourself, that's fine. Just don't overthink that too much. And then she's asking, want to shop on campus, vote Georgia. Like, this is very simple, very, very simple. Maybe I would critique her diverse fonts. I would stick to one font, but the messaging is spot on. And on her poster also, she has 3 campaign points: shop on campus, improve assignments, and an app for anonymous feedback. And then her slogan type messages, a good press is worth keeping. Again, very good. We're talking about a re-election here. Bradley.
Yeah, I was just going to say it ticks a lot of boxes, this one, doesn't it? Because it, first of all, so if you're someone listening that is rerunning for a role, then putting re-elect is a really quick way to signal to people that you've already done the job you're going for. Now, I suppose that could come with baggage. If people feel like maybe you haven't done a great job, then that might add some baggage. But if people feel like actually things have gone quite well this year, I'm quite happy with what the SU's doing, or I'm quite happy in this area of my studies, then it's a very quick way to signal that you might well know what you're doing because you've done the job for a year. I think also the picture probably emphasises that as well, because if you didn't know anything about Georgia at all, you look at that picture and think, well, that looks like someone that's sort of in a professional capacity. They sort of, it's not like someone like me at the moment in a hoodie, like on a beanbag or something that looks really unprofessional. It's sort of quite a professional looking photo. So it gives a good impression. I think the meal deal stuff, I think that's going to stand out, isn't it? So people are going to see loads of like graphics and posters on social media this year from candidates. So I suppose after a while, the simple headshot will probably be less effective because people might scroll past it. But if you suddenly see a candidate poster with a meal deal on it, you'd be like, well, what's that? And you might stop to look at it for a few more seconds. And that might be all you need to get someone's vote. So not just everyone splashes a meal deal on their poster, but something like that that's a bit different that might get people to stop scrolling for a minute could be what gets you a vote.
I'll definitely encourage you to create separate artwork for, if you have time, to create separate posts for your different promises, like Georgia has done here.
Yeah, I think this year, because social media is going to be so key, I think having, and like we said before, like scheduling those posts, so you could have a graphic for Manifesto Pledge 1, Manifesto Pledge 2, Manifesto Pledge 3, and schedule when you want those to go out, and have that so people are seeing those different pledges, rather than just sharing the same one generic graphic the whole time. Because the more you share the same thing, the same sort of post, the less effective it's going to be. So if you can tailor a few of your posts to talk about specific bits of your campaign and plan ahead of time when they're going to be, that's going to get you more traction online than otherwise.
I know that some of you will have to go, so I'll be very quick. But just want to say that this year, first of all, everyone been relying on social media more than we've done in the past. But also, you know that organic reach is a struggle. You know that social media is a hard, really hard place to sell and to show your post to lots of people, and the platforms wouldn't show your content to all of the people who follow you, because it's firstly testing it. Like Instagram, for example, at the moment is showing a new post to 10% of the audience, and then if they interact, they will show it to more. So you really need to ask your friends to help you there, to share and to comment and to save. So a like is not enough. If you want to go and reach loads of people, a like is not enough. They really need to go the extra mile and help you to spread the message and help you with your campaign. And this is where the more people you have on your following you, and the more people you have in your campaign team who are sharing, the better. Because a save and a share mean a lot more to Instagram than a simple like. So definitely bear that in mind. And now is the time when I want to show you very quickly how to actually create a poster, how to resize it. For anyone who doesn't need this, shall I go to the last slide for Bradley to talk about the rules first? Or
Yeah, I can talk about that while you get Canva up, if that's useful. Great. There is a question in the Q&A about voting. So it says only getting the vote from people in the university. Yeah, only university students will be able to vote. So you, when you're thinking of how you're putting stuff across on social media and things like that, think about are these posts going to appeal to students, and how can I reach students with a student audience with those comms. Just a little note on posters. So something went out to candidates already, and it's on our updates page as well. For those of you, if you're not a candidate yet and didn't get that email, first of all, make sure to nominate yourself on the SU website. But secondly, if you go on the candidate hub under elections on the SU website, and then there's a little sub page underneath candidate hub which has updates. And basically, if we have to make any rulings or clarify the rules in any way, we'll always update it on that page. So it's probably a good idea if you're going to be a candidate to bookmark that page and check in with it regularly. If anything major is announced, I'll obviously send that out in an email to candidates. But we have made a decision about posters. And since I put this out, we've decided this is going to apply basically for all sorts of physical campaigning on campus, really. So basically, no physical campaigning on campus this year, including posters. Now we don't like saying this. We know it's going to be difficult to get the message out there. We don't want to shut down any avenues that you've got for that. But really, it's a matter of both fairness and safety. So first of all, we don't want to in any way encourage people to be spending more time on campus or going to other parts of campus that they don't need to otherwise, given the current situation with COVID. And the second point is that there'll be various people that are still back in their hometown because they're being asked not to travel and not to come back to university. There'll be students that might have to shield, or they might even be clinically vulnerable themselves, and it just wouldn't be fair because it would be through no fault of their own that they wouldn't be able to get access to campus and wouldn't be able to take the risk of coming into campus. So for those reasons, both fairness and safety, we're going to say that there's not really going to be any physical campaigning on campus this year, and that will include posters. We were thinking at some point that we might, as staff, be able to put posters up for you, but again, even for us, we're being encouraged to be going into work as little as possible. You know, going into the actual office as little as possible. Very unlikely that's going to change by voting week. So we're not able to promise that either, really. Obviously, if you're on campus for lectures, you can talk to students in your lecture. We don't want you going up to students that you're not otherwise going to be with, obviously. But if there is a chance for a short conversation with someone, that's sort of a chance encounter. We really don't want you to be going out of your way to go and talk to students that you wouldn't otherwise be in a room with, and that sort of thing. And obviously we would be promoting online where there are online lectures. It's probably that's best place to do a lecture shout out if possible. So yeah, obviously very happy to take questions on this, but we are running out of time in this session, so maybe if you do want to talk about this a bit further, drop me a message, drop me an email, and I'm happy to chat further about that.
Lovely. Again, everyone who wants to go now can go, but I'll be showing you how to create a Canva social media post and resize it. And we just wanted to invite you to our last workshop, which will be on how to create an election video, and we'll be showing some examples, and we'll be giving tips for people who have never used any video editing tools before. So if you're quite experienced, maybe you don't need that, but it might be good to attend for ideas, because I've again selected examples from other issues. So it's really up to you. So thank you very much for attending. Please let me know if you can see my Canva screen. Or no? Yes, okay. So as I said, now maybe 4 or 5 minutes, I will show you how to use Canva, but if you feel like you don't need this, you can go, and thank you for attending. Okay, so you have...
Sorry, Gagana, there was just another question on what I'd said that I missed, sorry, in the Q&A. No, not physical lectures or seminars. Definitely not going into physical lectures or seminars that aren't your own. Obviously, if you're on, I mean, I don't really know if there are many students that are having in-person lectures or seminars at the moment anyway. But obviously, if you're already in your own in-person seminar or lecture, then that's different. But absolutely not going into any other physical lectures or seminars. If you want to ask the lecturers if you can go into an online session and promote you being a candidate in an online session, then that's absolutely fine, as long as you speak to the lecturer and get permission to do that beforehand. Sorry, Jana, I'll
so you all have access to this Canva website, which is a website for non-designers. And when you type in election poster, or when you go to templates, you'll see lots of already made designs for anything you can think of in the world, like flyers, infographics, newsletters, cards. So really, you have so much there to use. And today we're just gonna look at one just as an example. Let's say this one. So here there is already colors here, which you can already pick one that you like based on the colors, but this is very easy to change. So if you like the design of this poster, but then the colors that you've chosen for your campaign are different, that's very, very easy to change, very easy. So you can click on use this template, which will bring this. And here you will also be offered other suggestions, other designs. Very easy to change, very easy to just say, elect me for freshers officer. I would love to be a freshers officer. Oh, hey, you can't read my name, so I need to make that smaller. So again, very easy. So what this is a group of 3 objects. If you want to break them because you want to move this, you can ungroup them. And once you've ungrouped them, this can go anywhere. So if you see something stuck like that, this is what you need to do. Obviously, that's not me. And I want you to see me. So let's pretend that this is me. We'll put that here. Here, you can change this to our one. Ooh, no, because it's gone. You can always go back and make any changes. And a few other things I wanted to show you, and I'll be very, very quick, is how you can change transparency here. If you need something to be lighter or darker. If you want the style of one font, you can just use this one here to copy a style. But if you want this to move as well as this, you can select both of them and then group them or log them together. And then let's say this is the final artwork that you really like. Again, this is not in any way perfect because I'm just doing it very quickly. But what you can do is you can click resize here. And this same design, you can very easily transform into something else, to your Instagram story or to, let's say, Instagram post if you want to post it on Instagram. I'll be focusing on videos next time. So I'm not showing you videos, but with Canva you can create videos. So, and here is the correct size for Instagram. You can just change this. There you go. And in literally like a couple of minutes, you have the correct size artwork for Instagram. But then let's say that you want to email your best friends and ask them to help, and you want to make the email a bit better, then you can use this email header to do that. With your Canva subscription, you'll get access to so many photos that are royalty free. So all of these here you can use. Like if for some reason you think that they will be good for your poster, for your social media artwork, you don't need to worry about copyright. Do you want to ask a question, or is that from before? Bradley, when will they get the subscription?
Yeah, so in terms of the subscription, what we're saying is basically you can purchase the subscription at any time you want, and we will reimburse that. Obviously, if people need help with the upfront cost of it, we're happy to sort that as well. Just drop me an email and we can sort that. But you could go and get the subscription now if you want, and if you want to start designing things, go ahead and get it, and then we just keep a receipt of what you've got, and we'll reimburse that. Again, you can use any package you want. We're recommending Canva because that's, as an SU, that's what we use and what we know, so we could probably advise you best on that. But you can get any package you want, but we'll reimburse up until that £20 monthly subscription. If you can get something that goes over that as well if you want, but then you'd have to start taking the extra out of your candidate budget.
So the question, does it come out of your budget? No, if it's up to £20. So you have £20 for a subscription. Yeah,
so it's completely separate to that budget. It was recognizing how important digital content is going to be this year, to try and help candidates with that a little bit.
And do we have a question from Mihai as well, or is that your hand was raised for something else? No?
Guess not.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
You know, as you said, the email address, yeah? That one will put on the poster, we'll put the email address, where we'll send the email, or how it's work?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry?
The email address, because you put WWA UNC Union.
Yes.
We'll need to put that email address, what we'll have from you, or how it works?
The website, yes. So I would recommend giving people the option, providing people with the email address of the Students' Union. Yes, you don't have to include the whole URL because we'll make it really obvious. I promise you, we'll make it obvious. So when they go to US Union, they will probably get a big bold as a banner here, which they'll be able to see. So if you just include this URL,
Okay. Just that.
if you really want to, we will send you the voting one as well, but it will look.
Can I have the voting one as well? So when I
Yeah.
put in the poster to put everything.
We'll send you everything. Yes, and
Okay.
on our Instagram, we'll also be using Linktree. So this is like for in our bio on Instagram. We also have a link tree where people can click on our link and vote there. If you have an account, you can create a link tree as well for free. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I will drop the email to Bradley to let him know about, to send me over.
Yeah.
Or to you.
Yeah, okay. I'm really sorry that this was so long. I'm going to stop now, and then please email me with any questions and I'll be very happy to help you. Okay. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. Yeah, very happy to help. Any questions, email me or Bradley, or just the generic SU email, and someone will forward the email to us. Thank you very much. Good luck. Go buy the subscription if you want to start designing, and I'll see you hopefully next week if you attend the video workshop. All right. Bye.